Well, hey everyone, and welcome into Pushing the Limits and my YouTube channel. I'm Lisa Tamati, and today I wanted to do just a very quick video on the critical role of barrier function in our bodies. So our bodies are equipped with a really remarkable set of defenses designed to really protect us from countless threats that we encounter every single day. From the skin that shields us from the environmental toxins to the gut lining that carefully selects what enters our bloodstream. And these barriers are our first line of defense. But what happens when these barriers are compromised, and when do these barriers get compromised? Now, when our barriers become leaky, they lose their ability to distinguish between what's harmful and what's beneficial. And this increased permeability allows toxins and pathogens and other unwanted substances to enter areas where they don't belong. And the consequences of this can be quite profound and really far-reaching, affecting nearly every single system in our body. And one of the most immediate effects of a leaky barrier is inflammation. So as harmful substances slip through our weakened defenses, our immune system goes into overdrive, trying to protect us. Now, this chronic inflammation can then spread throughout the body, setting the stage for various inflammatory conditions, from things like irritable bowel syndrome to cardiovascular disease to lupus to thyroid and so on and so forth. There are over 100 different autoimmune diseases, and they are all on the rise. Now, the impact doesn't stop there. When our barriers like the gut lining or the blood-brain barrier are compromised, they can trigger autoimmune reactions. The immune system, now exposed to unfamiliar substances, may mistakenly target the body's own tissues, leading to conditions like rheumatoid arthritis or multiple sclerosis. And in the digestive tract, a compromised barrier can disrupt nutrient absorption, so that essential vitamins and minerals and other nutrients may no longer be absorbed efficiently. We have little villi in our digestive systems that can lie flat and get crumpled up, and they don't then absorb, and our microbiome in the gut can be affected. And this can lead to deficiencies that weaken the body and impair critical functions, including the immune response. Now, the brain is also very vulnerable, and the blood-brain barrier is essential for protecting our most vital organs from harmful substances. Now, when this barrier becomes leaky, neurotoxins and inflammatory molecules can invade the brain, leading to neuroinflammation. So over time, this can contribute to cognitive decline, to memory loss, and even neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. And just as a little factoid, like if you have a traumatic brain injury or a concussion, and you have a leaky blood-brain barrier as a result of that, which happens very often, then also you will find that over 60% of the people who have that traumatic brain injury and have that leaky blood-brain barrier also have a leaky gut. And so this is all very interrelated. And we have barriers in our eyes, in our cardiovascular system, in our lungs, in our reproductive tract, in our digestive system, of course, our skin, everywhere that interfaces with the outside world. And this is where a lot of the immune system is actually located. So 70 to 80% of our immune system is in and around the gut, for example. And then we have our pancreas and we have our thymus that are also immune organs. And we really need to protect these barriers. So leaky barriers in the lungs and the skin and the reproductive tract increase our susceptibility then to infections. And these breaches allow pathogens easier access, resulting in respiratory infections and skin disorders and reproductive health issues. Now, the constant challenge to the immune system caused by leaky barriers can lead to systemic immune dysregulation. And this overactivity of the immune system manifests in conditions such as allergies and asthma and other hypersensitivity reactions, making the body less resilient to everyday challenges. And then there's hormonal imbalances that can also arise when the barriers in the reproductive tract are compromised. So exposures to toxins and pathogens can disrupt a delicate hormonal balance necessary for reproductive health. potentially leading to menstrual irregularities, fertility issues, and other endocrine disorders. Now, the consequences of leaky barriers are not just confined to isolated symptoms. So over time, they can contribute to the development of chronic diseases such as diabetes, heart disease, and autoimmune disorders. They accelerate the aging, and this channel is all about how do we slow the aging process down, and this is why I'm doing this session today on the barriers, so that you understand how important the barriers are, and then hopefully in subsequent videos I will want to be talking about, well, how can we actually support the barriers in our body and what we can do to do it. But this one's just to really emphasize to you the importance of the barriers. So they accelerate aging when they're leaky. They promote chronic inflammation and oxidative stress, leading to premature decline in things like skin health and joint functions and cognitive abilities. So you're starting to get a picture of how systemic the problems are when you have leaky barriers. So leaky barriers impair our natural detoxification processes as well. So when these barriers fail, the livers and kidneys can become overwhelmed, unable to effectively filter and remove toxins, and this can lead to toxin buildup, which further stresses the body and exacerbates existing health issues. Mental health is another area that can suffer when our barriers are compromised, and the link between leaky barriers in the brain and mental health issues is becoming really increasingly clear. And that's why, when we're supporting our microbiome, for example, it can have a massive impact on our mental health as well. And it's to do with the microbiome itself, but also with these leaky barriers, right? And sealing off those leaky barriers, more importantly. So conditions such as anxiety, depression, and brain fog may all be connected to a weakened blood-brain barrier, as well as a greater risk of neurodegenerative diseases. And finally, our overall immune defense is compromised when barriers become leaky. The immune system, constantly activated by foreign substances, becomes less effective over time, and this weakened defense leaves the body more susceptible to infections and illnesses, further eroding our health. So the integrity of our body's barriers is foundational, absolutely foundational to our health. And when these barriers are compromised, the consequences are far-reaching, affecting nearly every aspect of our well-being. So by maintaining and supporting the health of our barriers, which again we'll go into in subsequent videos, we protect not only against immediate threats, but also against the long-term development of chronic diseases, premature aging, and a decline in overall health. So I hope that was of interest to you today, and you understand now the importance of good barrier function. And then we'll talk a bit more in subsequent videos about what we can do to support it from a food perspective, from a microbiome perspective, from a supplemental perspective, and how you can then help modulate your immune system through this. Because one of the most important things that I've been focusing on in the last few years is the immune system, understanding how the immune system works, why it declines as we age, and this barrier piece of the puzzle, the health of our barriers, is a really important one. So thanks for tuning in today. Do stay tuned for more, and we'll see you again soon. And please don't forget to subscribe if you want more of this content. We really appreciate you here. Make sure you subscribe and check out all our 700+ videos that we have now on the channel. We appreciate you. Thanks, guys.